Hi, my name is Jasmine Horton, and this is my chapter 13 and chapter 14 chapter review. Chapter 13 and 14 is about leadership and power. Leadership is a process of providing general direction from a position of influence. And sometimes there are formal leaders and there are informal leaders. So formal leaders would be the people that are designated to be in that leadership position. And then the informal leaders are people who don't have a title, who are just perceived to be the leader in a group. And there's a difference between leaders and managers. So leaders typically create a vision for their company or their organizations, and they introduce change and they do these things, and they're just like inspiring. Management maintains whatever is going on. So they provide stability, and most of the time, not all managers are leaders, and I know that firsthand. Managers typically just don't have the same direction as leaders. And there are four types of leaders. There's directive, transactional, there's the visionaries, and there's empowering leaders. And sometimes there are 5 types of leadership perspectives, which there are early leadership, contemporary leadership, power distributing leadership, value-based, and cross-cultural leadership. And cross-cultural is when it's the process of leading across different cultures, and sometimes, that can be difficult. And there's also leadership and gender, and that is one of the main causes of inequality when it comes to these positions. And of course, power is the capacity to influence the actions of others, and is linked to leadership. And sometimes there are different sources of power. So there's organizational power, and that is legitimate, rewards and coercive. And there's personal power, which is more expert based, using power and tactics for influencing others. And there's also organizational politics, which are behaviors that are not formally sanctioned by the government and are focused on maximizing self-interest and doing that with political skill, which is the ability to understand and influence others for the good of the organization. Those things have everything to do with power as well, and gaining power within your organizations and figuring out the best way to find your footing. Thank you.